We are at Klement Park near Fort Atkinson. Wind is blowing, the water temperature is probably lower 50s, but I see a lot of fish jumping out in the distance. The water is deep here, about 30 feet. We're gonna throw some worms, throw some lures, and see what we can get. I think I've already got a fish. I feel something pulling. It's not very heavy. The water actually has a lot of weight itself because it's so deep. I'm pretty sure this is a fish. Is that a drum? Do I have the other fish? Do I have the other bait? Yeah, that's a freshwater drum. It's not a big one, but it is a drum. I have a feeling that I am gonna need to get some cut bait soon if these things keep biting, but it is a freshwater drum, sheep's head. Not too bad, not too bad. Let's get back to fishing. All right, nice little fish here. I'll see you. Yeah, this section of the rock should have plenty of fish because it's actually pretty deep. Sheephead's a nice start. Let's toss this other bait out to see what else we can get. I know there's walleye at this time of the year and probably a lot of it. And then also a lot of other fish. Hopefully there's some catfish that are still active. That's what I'm hoping for, a big catfish. Now there are, around Fort Atkinson, there are two really deep private holes around 50 feet. But both of them, unfortunately, are actually adjacent to private lands. So you cannot actually access them. This is the deepest hole I can access that's actually public, and it's only about 30 foot. So I'm guessing a lot of the big catfish are in the 50-foot private land areas. And I'm hoping the warmer weather of the last few days will actually bring some of those fish out, and they're not all in those holes. But in the winter, yeah, if you have a boat, you want to hover over those 50-foot holes in the rock, because that's probably where most, if not all, the fish are. I got a really small bite on this one. What is that? Oh, it's a small white bass. That's gonna make perfect cut bait. Yeah, nice little white bass there. Not too bad, not too bad. Usually that would be a target, but right now that's gonna be cut bait because, well, yeah, because that's a perfect cut bait size. Usually that would be perfect size live bait. This is like bluegill size. It's probably like 6 inches or so. But under these conditions, I will use the head as cut bait because fish do prefer smaller baits at this time of the year. Some people will tell you the dogma that flatheads always prefer live bait. That's usually true, but when the water's like 50 degrees, everything, including flats, I actually just prefer cut bait. So we're gonna throw this out there and see what we can get. Man, the fall winds are pretty crazy today. And yeah, they're really bugging with my fishing because the more wind there is, the harder it is to toss a small lure out. It just gets kind of blown away in the wind like that. I can't toss it out very far because the wind just blows it one way or the other. Now I'm hoping that a big fish hits my fish head bait. Like I said, it's about 30 feet deep out there. So it should be deep enough to hide a fish even in the winter. I know that they'd be rather in the 50-foot hole, but I can't access the 50-foot hole like I said. Getting to dusk, beautiful night, about 3/4 moon, and also the wind's dying down a bit, which is nice. But of course I can't really see anything at night when I throw, so that could be a problem. Got 2 worm baits out and a cut bait. Hopefully something grabs the cut bait. All right, that's a fish. I think it's a fish. Yeah, it's a fish, but a small one. Man, fish are still biting furiously at Klement, but not very big ones. Is that a gato fish? No, it's just another drum. That's probably what all that's biting right now. Freshwater drum. Man, I really wish there were bigger fish here. Better fish, superior fish, but I guess not. Drum, not all that lively. But it's going back in the water, see ya. The only thing that are biting right now are drums and a small white bass. I really could use a big fish, but they might all be stuck in that 50-foot hole in Fort Atkinson that's adjacent to private land, so I can't actually access it, which does kind of suck, but hey, what are you gonna do? Private land's private, right? And can't really fish on it, don't have a boat, so we're stuck here. This is about 15-20 foot shallower, but it's still a good 30 foot in the middle, so let's do what we can. All right, I think I might have something on the bigger pole. This is the cut bait, so it's either a turtle, which is unlikely because this thing's like 30 foot deep, or it's a big fish. I'm guessing it's a pretty big fish. I think it's a flat. This would make my day if it was a flat. It doesn't feel like a huge one though, but it is a fish. It's fighting like a flathead. Either that or it's a giant turtle, but water's pretty shallow. Water's pretty cold for turtles of doom to actually start biting. So this might actually be the ancient fish I'm looking for. Well, the big fish I'm looking for. It's not a deadly fish, because deadly fish don't really bite at night, but flatheads do, and it's on cut bait, so it should be kind of stuck. It could be a channel, but it's not really fighting like a channel. But you know what the thing is? In this, oh yeah, it's not that big. It's probably just a dirty channel. I wanted a flathead, but I guess I'll take a channel. Is that a walleye? Nope, it's a channel guttofish. You know, all the flatheads are probably stuck in that giant hole. Channel guttofish. But hey, it's a catfish and it's better than nothing. Small little channel gatto, probably like 1 or 2 pounds. Very good in the smoker, I would guess, but not looking for channel gattos to eat, so it's lucky. It's caught by me and not someone else. So it's going to go back into the rock to be caught by someone else later. See ya, channel. And it gattos right off. All right, caught one catfish today. They're really, really deep in the river. So hopefully I can get another one. Be nice if I can get a big flat. I think we got another fish down here on the bigger pole. Pole, I don't know, it stopped ringing, but sometimes the fish stop pulling after a while, and I think it's still on because I still feel a bit of resistance. That's a fish, and it's a bigger one. You hear that reel? That is a bigger fish. Not a much bigger fish. I don't think it's super big, but it's definitely heavier than the 1 pounder. It's probably like a 3 pounder or a 5 maybe. Might be like a 5 pound fish. Better loosen the drag just in case it decides to try to rip. Tighten the drag a bit. Can't let it rip too much because I got to get it in sooner or later. All right, got to get this bonkai. Oh man. All right, come on, fish. Is this a flathead? I really hope it's a flat. It's a small, I think it's gonna be pretty small flathead if it's a flat though. It's probably a channel, but I definitely hope it's a flat. Okay, that's a good amount of drag. Finding the appropriate amount of drag is very, very important here. But it looks like a bigger one finally hit tonight. It's ripping some drag. Probably a channel, but yeah, it's not a big channel. It's a channel catfish. Channel guttofish. Question is, how gatto is it? Or probably just like a 2 pounder. No, it's a little bigger actually. Probably like a 5. That's a channel. Nice channel too. Very nice channel. Probably like a 5 pounder. 5 pounder. Not a 2 pounder, but a 5 pounder. Maybe 6 pounder. I don't know. Decent fish. Decent fish. Not great, but I'll take it. I'll take it. I will take it. There you go. It's a good fish. Channel guttofish. Oh, very, very nice fish. Better one. 5 pound channel guttofish. Not quite what I'm looking for. Not quite the size either, but at least, hey, channel guttofish, not bad. About 5-6 pounds. All right, guttofish going back in the water. About 5 pounds, biggest fish of the night. Not too bad. I mean, since it's November and the water's colder, it's a win, I guess. Otherwise, I'd really want a flat, but I don't know if that's happening tonight, folks. But channel catfish, 5 pounds. See a fish. There it goes, swims back. Oh, stuck on the rock. Oh, back it goes into the deep end. Well, that was interesting. I did talk with someone on the Southwest Wisconsin forum, or Southeast Wisconsin forum, and the water's not nearly as deep as the map makes it out to be. The area near where I was fishing at Klement Park is maybe like 10 feet deep in the center, and the hole I was talking about in Fort Atkinson, the 2 holes I was talking about in Fort Atkinson, are about 25 each instead of 50. Regardless, relatively it's still about the same. All the big flatheads are probably in those 2 holes, but I can't access them from shore. They're private property, so I had to stick with Klement Park. I will try that again next summer, but right now it looks like the channels are still hitting, the white bass are still hitting, and the drums are still hitting. I'm pretty sure the walleyes are hitting, and there's a lot of carp there, but you would toss in the shallows for the carp because they're all like pretty much right next to shore. So there's a lot of fish to be caught there. They're biting pretty heavily. I got several more bites, both on like the cut bait and also on the worm, but I think those fish were just a little too small to actually hook on. But I had a good time. Figured out another place in like, early mid-November to actually fish. I'll be visiting that place next year during the summer too to get some flats. And yeah, it's always nice to fish new fishing spots. So hope you enjoyed it. Like and subscribe, hit that bell notifications button, and I will see you guys next time.